All right. So, Lyndsey, can you tell me a little bit about your background? Like, well, I know you used to do something and now you do something else. So, just kind of like what your life is like and what you do for work.
Yeah, I am 45 years old. I live in Boulder, Colorado with my husband and my dog, no kids. I was in corporate America for 10 years. I was a satellite systems engineer for Lockheed Martin and for Boeing. Um, Decided there was no way in hell I was going to be able to do that for another 20 years. So I decided to start a different career. And here in Boulder, Colorado, dog hiking is a big thing. And I knew I wanted to do something outside and something with dogs. So I basically created a dog walking service that is a group off leash hiking service in the mountains here. So there's a voice insight program here. And if your dog meets the set of criteria where they can be off leash, then you can take them hiking off leash. So I created a company that has 10 employees, and we all drive around, pick up groups of dogs around town, take them out for an off leash hike, and then drop them back off, nice and happy and tired. So it's kind of like a dog walking service, but kind of more fun and
Yeah.
more exercise, more socialization, all that. It's been really successful for the past 12 years, and I'm pretty proud of it, actually.
Yeah, I'm
So
so
that's what
proud
I'm
of it
doing now.
too. I love when I
Thank
see
you.
you and your team together and just the whole concept and the fact that you realized this is something that I'm doing it previously and I cannot do this. There's no way I could do this the rest of my life.
Yeah, no chance. Life is too short, and you just can't be miserable with your job. It takes up too much of your life. So I
Yeah.
am infinitely happier and I don't want to say broker, but definitely less money this way. But it's money is not everything,
It's
and I'd
not
rather do this than be miserable in corporate America for another 20 years. So yeah, it was
100%
a good decision.
not worth it.
Okay,
I mean, for us,
no,
I guess it depends on your values, right? But I
yeah,
think for you, for me, not. So
it's just not
prior
all
to,
about money. Yeah,
no, it's not. And well, I could talk forever about that.
I know.
So, what's your activity been like since you were young? Were you an active person when you were younger? And then how has that evolved throughout the years?
Yeah, I was a gymnast in my former life actually as well. So I did gymnastics all the way through college, and it definitely wreaked havoc on me. I think emotionally and mentally, it's a tough. Anything performance based like that is really tough. Um, and I don't know that I had the right personality for it, but glad that I did it. It made me really strong and definitely contributed to who I am today. And I'm still flexible and all of that. But I've always kept up with, even since college, just being active. I did a lot of group fitness classes, running, a lot of hiking, obviously, for my business. And kind of just always, focused on being the smallest version of myself that I could be. Um, and I've since, started therapy and I'm finally dealing with that type of thing. But this program has helped me a lot also break out of kind of that mindset and the need to be, smaller.
Mhm.
Um,
Awesome. So what
yeah.
brought
So,
you to, like,
mhm,
what brought you to, I mean, when you joined, it was still Lift to Get Lean. What brought
yeah.
you to the program?
um, I ran into you on Instagram, thank God, almost a year and a half ago now.
Yeah.
I was just really spinning my wheels. I felt like what I was doing wasn't working anymore.
Mhm.
Um, basically my whole strategy was eating as little as possible to try and stay as little as possible. And when you do that for a number of years, you get to a point where you're not eating very much anymore and not seeing any progress anymore, getting very frustrated, very hungry. Um, and it just wasn't working anymore. I knew that what I was doing was wrong and I needed to be doing something different. Um, and thankfully I landed in your world and learned that there is another way and you don't have to be in this prison that I had unknowingly put myself in all these years.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that because sometimes I'm like, Kylie, are you being dramatic? Like when you use that word prison, but no. And like not everyone has the same shared experience that you and I
Yeah,
have. But for
right.
those women that do, and I feel like it's split down the middle. There's the women that cannot get themselves off the couch or away from the computer and to go work out. And then there's the other half that cannot not do it. And
Right.
we do like all the rules and the restrictions that we put ourselves in, it's debilitating.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's lonely.
It's lonely.
and you don't know what else to do.
No.
So you do what you think you need to do, and eventually it stops working. So I definitely got to a breaking point and knew I needed to change something.
It is, yeah, I haven't even talked about that, the lonely aspect of it, but you're absolutely right.
Hmm.
Being
Yeah.
isolated
Yeah.
and
That's one of the reasons why I love this so much, is because just the community and everybody in it is going through the same thing or has a very similar background to yours. And they keep you going when, your old demons start to creep back in and all of that. So it's been a huge, huge help for me, that aspect of things.
I love it. So like now, what's different now in terms of the way that you work out and the way that you eat versus, 10 years ago, 5 years
Oh
ago,
my gosh.
3 years
Yeah, it's totally different and it's way better. I used to do, endless cardio, lots of gym classes or beach body classes, hit classes, just basically trying to burn as many calories as possible with not a lot of emphasis on strength training,
ago?
which I learned is the opposite of what I should be doing. So now I have grown to love lifting the heavy weights and see myself progress and get stronger. And I know that building that muscle is what's going to help me eventually get to my goals.
Mhm.
Um, and it's way more fun than all the cardio and the crunches and the fasting and the restricting and all of that. Um, Eating has been amazing. I eat over 2,000 calories a day now, which I never would have thought was possible.
Yeah.
And I'm not freaked out about it, and I don't, worry about gaining weight anymore because I know that those extra calories are helping me build the muscle that I need to eventually get to my goals.
I think you said something that's really powerful there. Like, I don't worry about gaining weight anymore. And I can only speak for myself, but I'd love to know your experience as well. That was always like a little bit of an anxiety. And so
Yeah,
like if I eat this, will I gain weight? If I go on vacation, will I gain weight? Or I know I will gain weight. If I take a break, will I gain weight? And now I don't have that weight. It just seems so different.
totally. Yeah, the scale used to rule my life. My day and my mood was dependent on like what that number was in the morning, and now I realize that that number doesn't really mean anything at all. It's arbitrary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love being able to go out to eat without, stressing out a ton, or go on vacation and know that a couple days off is not going to make or break me, because I've created this lifestyle now that, taking a few days off is not the end of the world, and probably is even a good thing for me because I can, still have trouble taking those rest days and being okay doing nothing. But I know now that they're, just as important as the workout days. So
Yeah. Well, and even before like we hopped on, I was saying, "Oh my gosh, you're all over the place. I've seen you on vacation with your friends and with your family." And how did you navigate that before? Because I know for me, I like would just say no.
yeah, it was a huge source of stress for me. I would spend, the month prior to especially a beach trip, like stressing out, trying to lose 5 pounds, not eating, like starving myself before the trip. And I'll never forget, like when I joined this program the first trip that I had, it was a girls' trip to Mexico, and I didn't do that for the first time in my whole life, and it was the greatest thing ever. Like I just lived my regular life up until the
Yeah.
trip. I didn't worry about, you know, fasting or getting smaller, or trying to lose those last little couple pounds, which like nobody sees anyway, is what I've learned. It's
But
just
we didn't
not.
know that, right? We
We
didn't
didn't
know.
know. No, we didn't.
So you mentioned the word goals. Like, what do you have goals for yourself moving forward? Not in regards to your career necessarily in your business, but like with your health and your wellness.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I think, well, before when I started the program, I would have said, I want to lose fat and build muscle and try to have that toned, quote unquote,
Mhm.
physique that I've been chasing all these years. And I still want that, and I'm working
And you
towards
have
that.
it.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you. Yes, I'm working on that. So I'm still working towards that goal of body recomposition for sure. Um, but I know that it's going to take a long time. That was kind of a little bit of a hard pill to swallow. You want these things fast, and I think society and just the diet industry, sells you on these 6-week programs and 3 months to this and whatever. And like truly, like you always say, it takes years. So I've settled into that mindset, and I'm playing the long game now. Um, and I'm way happier for it. But ultimately, I think I just want to be happy. I want to be strong. I want to be comfortable. I want to enjoy my life. I don't want this to be constantly taking it over all the time. And this program has allowed me the flexibility in order to do that. So
Mhm.
I'm very grateful.
Thank you. Well, then have you seen this translate into other areas of your life?
Um, yes, I have. Let's see. Well, physically my hair stopped falling out, which is amazing. It was so thin. I think but the first set of before and after photos I posted, one of them was my hair because my little sad ponytail has turned into like it's longer and thicker now, like the way that it used to be, because I'm actually eating again,
Yeah.
actually fueling my body properly, which is great. My digestion has gotten a lot better.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm obviously less hungry, so my mood is better. My husband will tell you that. He will confirm that for you. Good God.
I know.
Um,
I always
what
wonder
else?
what people would think when we were doing our things. I don't really want to know, but I'm sure they're like, what on earth are they doing? Why are
I
they the
know.
way they are?
Yeah, totally.
But we're not that
Um,
way anymore.
no, I know. It's amazing. It truly feels like I have a new lease on life. And
Yeah.
I just want people to know that, it doesn't have to be that way. And like I'm living proof. If anybody can break out of it,
Yeah.
or if I can break out of it, then anybody can.
Yeah. I love that. Well, thank you, Lyndsey.
You're so welcome.